Hey, feel free to debate me on this, but I'm going to say that natural talent, quote unquote, is a myth. It is a falseness, a lie. And here's my thoughts on it. So I've kind of contemplated these sorts of things. You've maybe heard me prattle on about them, and I got a few more thoughts to bring later on. But this one is interesting to me because I keep hearing it with people like, I don't have any musical bones in my body. I don't have an innate talent, kind of like that's what people think. That's what people say is like there's some sort of pinnacle musicianship or existing musicianship, like some sort of like divine thing that they weren't gifted with. And I would tell you right now that that's not real, because I've listened to lots of my friends who are musicians, or lots of podcasts. I like to listen to musician podcasts talking about their work and all that stuff. And then inevitably will say, well, how was it growing up? What was your influence growing up? And that kind of thing. And what you'll hear if you listen to those that I've just recently noticed is that they, like the ones who are the musicians that we hold up as like pinnacle musicians and stuff. Think Prince, for example. I didn't know this about Prince, but his parents, McCartney's parents, Hendrix, I believe, and there's been a batch of the other ones that I've listened to. Jacob Collier's a recent one. I don't know if you know him. Like, they have musician parents in their households that are fostering their musical interest well before they ever became musicians, right? And so there's this one side of natural talent that we look at. These are like primo example people that have sort of a head start on the rest of us, maybe because they have these musical environments that they're living and growing up. But then there's definitely people who are more like interested in music, just naturally they incline themselves to it, so they kind of absorb it sooner than the rest of us. And there's also what I think is, like that we're more than a decade past the whole like 10,000 hours notion, maybe even 15 years. I know it was put out there by a number of different people, and I happen to like Malcolm Gladwell, and I think it shows up in Outliers, his second book. But anyway, the point being, like, if you put in 10,000 hours worth of work, which is about 5 years of 40 hours a week, then you will become an expert in a skill, and therefore in terms of like musicianship, it might look like you have natural talent. And I'll go back to those people who have musicians in their family. They're probably hitting stuff like 10,000 hours before they really hit like adolescence, right? So let's stop holding ourselves to some standard of natural musicianship that isn't real, okay? I want to know, are you here to learn a musical instrument, to have fun, to think more creatively, or are you trying to hold yourself to a standard that isn't real, to some sort of like primo thing? Because I'm guilty of that. Like, I'll jump into something, or I won't, because I think that I should be amazing at it when I haven't hardly done it yet, and that doesn't really work, right? That's not a fair way to treat yourself. So we want to promote musicianship. We want you to just enjoy yourself, right? Like, practice makes better, I tell people, not perfect. That's just setting the standard way too high for all of us. So feel free to release yourself from this natural musicianship myth. And if you're lacking some chutzpah, or whatever you want to call it, some get up and go, some creativity, I want you to reply to this email, or probably a comment around here on some page or something, and tell me what you need, because we have lots of resources on the site and on YouTube type videos, and I love replying to people via email because I do read them all, and I want to hear from you about what's challenging, or what is a win for you. What is something that you're really enjoying that you maybe want to share with other people? That'd be kind of cool to know too. But you got to put in the work, and natural talent, it's not real. Feel free to comment your debate to that, but that's my stance on it.